HeyGen Avatar 5 takes AI lip sync video to the next level for three main reasons. The first reason is that the quality of the lip sync is a lot more believable and stable. The second reason is we can record or generate videos in 720, 1080, and 4K relatively affordably. The third and most impressive one that really unlocks a lot of new workflows is that we can record and generate videos of basically infinite length. If you've been doing AI video for really any amount of time, you'll know that most of these models cap out at 15, 30 seconds at the absolute max. This has pretty much unlimited. You can throw like an entire novel at it and it'll just start generating the video and won't slip up. So let's look at a couple examples that I've been playing around with to test out HeyGen Avatar 5. And of course, it's available today on Fall to try yourself. Now, when you first get to the HeyGen Avatar page here, you'll see that the main parameter is to choose which avatar you want. And you'll see that it's mainly sorted by name, and there's a lot of them, but it's basically going to go name, location, and then which angle there is. So in this case, we're going with Brent. I believe it's office front and office side. So we're actually going to get a front angle and a little bit of a 3/4 angle at the same time, or we're going to have both of them by the end. I'm going to edit them together at some point. But you want to sort through all of these. There's no gallery yet to tell you what they are, so I just made a lot until you find one that you like. And then the second thing you want to choose if you're doing text to video like we are is there's a really long list of different preset voices. There's no great way of previewing them right now, but I'm basically using the Maxwell voice, which I thought matched pretty well with the Brent character. So I wrote some text. It's a little bit silly, a little bit of a parody on tech and AI right now. And we're going to watch the full uncut takes from the front view and the side view, and then maybe a little bit of an edit where I'm intercutting between them to sort of show, I think, how this type of A-roll is going to be used.
I have always loved artists. My wife is an artist and she's also obsolete. Today, I'm thrilled to launch Obsoleter, an agent-first content platform for brands who want to crush marketing KPIs and take names. Obsoleter guarantees viral banger after banger by using its suite of custom Claude skills we've called V-bangers. V-bangers will spend 10% of your tokens creating the ads and the other 90% creating organic agentic engagement on your post. In the old days, the FCC tried to label us as a bot farm, but in the AI era, we are now a legit tech company whose values align with the top Fortune 100 companies. You need to try Obsoleter today before you become obsolete yourself. Trust me, bro. I have always loved artists. My wife is an artist and she's also obsolete. Today, I'm thrilled to launch Obsoleter, an agent-first content platform for brands who want to crush marketing KPIs and take names. Obsoleter guarantees viral banger after banger by using its suite of custom Claude skills we've called V-bangers. V-bangers will spend 10% of your tokens creating the ads and the other 90% creating organic agentic engagement on your post. In the old days, the FCC tried to label us as a bot farm, but in the AI era, we are now a legit tech company whose values align with the top Fortune 100 companies. You need to try Obsoleter today before you become obsolete yourself. Trust me, bro.
So the quality is really incredible. I forgot to mention that I generated this in 16:9. You can also do 9:16. And I chose 4K, of which you can do 720, 1080, or 4K. I went right to the 4K, and it makes it really sharp when you downres to 1080, and it's really fast to generate. And again, the big unlock is that I fed it like an entire couple paragraphs, and it just one-shot the entire thing. For this next set of examples, I'm going to, instead of using text to video, I'm going to be using some pre-recorded audio. The first example is going to be just a little quick 11 Labs audio I made from one of my wizard voices. It's really short, but here it is.
HeyGen Avatar 5 is now available on FAL. This model can generate realistic natural video from text with virtually no limit. Most video models cap out at 15 seconds.
So while I wouldn't say the voice matches the character in this case, I will say that the lip sync is pretty good. And this was my first test to see can I use different audio sources to generate lip sync? And the answer is yes. For the next example, which I haven't seen yet because I'm going to go make it, is I'm taking the audio from the beginning of this YouTube video of me talking, and I'm going to use my audio to then drive an A cam and B cam of this character. Let's check it out. HeyGen Avatar 5 takes AI lip sync video to the next level for three main reasons. The first reason is that the quality of the lip sync is a lot more believable and stable. The second reason is we can record or generate videos in 720, 1080, and 4K relatively affordably. The third and most impressive one that really unlocks a lot of new workflows is that we can record and generate videos of basically infinite length. If you've been doing AI video for really any amount of time, you'll know that most of these models cap out at 15, 30 seconds at the absolute max. This has pretty much unlimited. You can throw like an entire novel at it and it'll just start generating the video and won't slip up. So let's look at a couple examples that I've been playing around with to test out HeyGen Avatar 5. And of course, it's available today on Fall to try yourself. Those were the rather straightforward use cases. Corporate trainer videos, corporate explainer videos. I think that is a huge win. It's going to be awesome. But now I wanted to have some fun now that I knew that I could do audio to video. And I wanted to see just how fast it could do the lip sync. So of course I went to Suno and I generated a couple of rap songs. So here's our first example. Hope you enjoy.
You brag about agents like they gods in the sky. Talking white collars dead, watch the whole market die. You don't build futures, you just sharpen the knife. Sell apocalypse subscriptions, call it the automated life. Every key note sound like a threat, but it's mild. Your job's obsolete, yeah, the grip's gone viral. You fire 10,000 and tweak humanity wins while your chat pipe hallucinate and your stock price spins. You went to these Stark, you a layoff in the fleece, cosplaying revolution while the workers lose peace. Your AI agent still can't reason or lead, just remix stolen homework at industrial speed. So keep yelling disruption from your soundproof jet. Real people built the world, don't you ever forget.
So to make that, I wrote some lyrics, I put it into Suno, which you can break into stems and basically have just the vocals and just the instrumental. And then I fed just the vocal track into HeyGen Avatar 5, and that's what the lip sync is based off of. There are some really impressive, like really fast rapping parts that it keeps up with perfectly, but you'll see in both of these examples right now that we don't perfectly separate the vocals. There's kind of the lead vocals and the backup vocals, and the backup vocals that are like echoing in the background and kind of like, you know, ad-libbing over the main rap vocal. It confuses the model. So I wouldn't say it's the model's fault at all. It does an incredible job of like trying to keep up with it. But sometimes the background vocals are so overprocessed and echoey and not like a normal, you know, speech pattern that it doesn't do it so well. So, you know, fair game, but it does allow for some extremely fast lip sync as you saw in certain parts. So here's another example I did in 4K with a different avatar, an A and B angle. You can take my word for it that like these are just like really long, like I think 1 minute takes, but I kind of intercut them just so you can see it, and it's just a little bit of fun here.
Server farms hum while the cold wind blows. Build all night, yeah, the engines run. New model drop before the morning sun. Data strings deep like the Yangtze flow. Train that model, let the whole world know. No breaks here when the race gets wild. Future move fast, never thinking mild. Silicone dreams with a dragon flame. Whole world watching when we change the game. You talk rules, we talk scale. 10 more racks and another trail. AI, no limits, stack chips high. No ceilings, code so fast, whole crowd feel it. Future right now when we really live it. AI, no limits, big ideas, whole world witness. East side glow when the screens are lit. Next wave coming and we built this.
So those are my examples and tests. Hopefully that's been somewhat helpful for you if you're just getting started with HeyGen. And of course, head over to Fall in the playground to test it out yourself. It's a relatively affordable model. But now let's move on to a bit of a conclusion and first impressions after using it for a little bit. So this is clearly really good for creating a roll of people talking like I'm doing right now to camera. On top of that, it comes with a B angle, you know, a side angle, which my setup doesn't allow for right now. Maybe I should set one up. It's another camera, a bigger set. And this is really good for companies that need to make pretty straightforward, which we'll talk about, explainer videos, announcements, where you want to have a little bit of, you know, of an avatar giving that message, right? So it depends on your brand if using an AI avatar works at all. But if you are a brand where that makes sense, which you'll think you're going to see a lot more of in the future, this is definitely one of the best platforms to get started with that type of work. For the quality of the lip sync, for the most part, it stays right on it. The avatar doesn't degrade over time. You have 2 angles, and like we said in the beginning, you can just give it 3 paragraphs, 10, I don't know what the limit is, 10 paragraphs of text, and it will just go. And then if you want to have a more human voice, which I think is a good approach if you can afford it and you can get a voiceover artist or a host or whatever, that the human voice helps a lot, makes it a lot more palatable, because like I think AI audio is a little rough on the ears where you could kind of get by with the video as long as the audio is okay. So you have all sorts of options. And then from there, once you've recorded your audio, you can have different AI services do the translation for you. And you have a new way of making content for many different demographics from just audio or from just text in a way that was nearly never possible before. So if I could give some early constructive feedback, and I think this is pretty obvious, and it matches who it's for, is that before I said this is good for like straightforward reads, is that the motions the characters do are rather like canned. It's only like, this is going to work if the read is just rather straightforward and you're cutting around to like a lot of B-roll. I think you can get away with it. But if it's like really long, it might be just like a little bit, a little bit safe, borderline boring. But that, again, that might be perfect for like some corporate use case where you don't want people to be like going nuts in general. The second thing I want to point out is that generally, this is my live action background, is generally with interviews and explainer videos specifically, not interviews, really more like explainer videos, is that the typical setup is like, yes, the host is centered like I am, and I'm looking right at camera, I'm talking to you, I'm delivering. But then when you cut to the B camera angle, which is again a little bit 3/4 to the side, it's usually closer with the depth of, some shallow depth of field. And then that person is not looking at the camera, they're looking straight ahead. So with the videos that I saw and the angles I saw is that the A camera, they're usually looking pretty close to camera, not always perfectly on, but close to looking at camera. But then they would also be looking dead onto the B camera. And it's a creative decision if you want to do that or not. But generally when you're making like explainer launch videos, that sort of thing, is the B camera, the actor's not looking at the camera, they're looking forward at the A camera. And that's what people are mostly used to. Maybe this is a new way of handling things, but if there was that option of keeping the B camera closer and then looking at the other camera and not looking at it, I think that would make this look a lot more like how typically you'll see these type of videos produced in live action. So that wraps it up for this video and our very first look at HeyGen Avatar 5. I'm like kind of mind blown. And the main thing isn't necessarily even the lip sync quality, because like that is of course good, the 4K, it is the length. It just opens up brand new workflows to be able to generate or write or do voiceovers that are just really long. Could I feed it the voiceover of this entire YouTube video and then generate the A-roll? I think I could. I think we did a little test of that. And so what does this sort of unlock in the future? Changing doing the dubs to different languages, and it just kind of changes the nature of video production. I might have just put myself out of a job. I'm not sure. I wouldn't be mad at it. Someone still has to write the script and make the demos, but who knows? Maybe this is the last time I show up on camera, and next time I'll be a HeyGen Avatar. You'll have to tell me if you can tell the difference. Okay, I'll see you on the next video.